Welcome to day 213 of our DESO journey. I'm Ed Krasenstein here with my twin brother, Brian. And remember, these shows are sponsored by CloutFeed.
Yeah, and every day I tell you something else that CloutFeed offers that other apps don't. Um, we already touched on the fact that it's a mobile app, but there's a pretty responsive team behind it. If you have issues, you can just contact Rabal on any DESO node, and he'll usually get back to you pretty rapidly. And he's a great guy, really smart. So there's that.
Yeah, so it seems like referral retention's up. According to Tyne, he made a post with some graphs. I urge everybody to check it out. But it seems like, referrals are down a little bit. The weekend's usually going to be slower, but it seems like there's actually more people that are being referred who are actually using the platform.
Yeah, so Ty made a post this morning, and yesterday, which was Saturday, he said that the new referred users were down. There were just over 200 referred users yesterday. That's down about 10%, so not too much. But the engagement is up significantly in some areas. NFT actions are up 285%, which among these new users. So that means that a lot of these new users coming on board are coming on board for NFTs, whether they're buying NFTs or minting them. We also saw that post numbers from these new users are up nearly 40%, 39.8%. 798 posts yesterday from these referrals. So I mean, it's not huge, but it's significantly up, and the number of referrals are down. So that tells me that perhaps they're really starting to weed out some of these bot accounts or these accounts that are abusing the system, signing up, taking the $100 and running off.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting to see what they do with the referral system once the current system runs out. I think that is tomorrow. I think tomorrow the timer is going to run out for the $100 referral. And we'll see, do they roll out more referral links to more people? Do they reduce the price that the referral fees that you can collect when you refer somebody? What wait and see.
Yeah, and if you look at Tyne's stats, and if they're accurate, it shows that 2,174 people have been referred through the program. I assume that since it started, which isn't really a ton. I mean, that 2,100, so they spent 100 times that. So it was to about $210,000 they've spent, which is about one thousandth of the entire treasury. So it's only a blip on the radar. How many of these people out of these 2,100 are going to stick around? We don't know. But these stats show that they're at least being more active. And that tells me that they're more actual referrals, not just people abusing the system.
Yeah. And in other news, the price of clout or price of DESO is currently at $90 when we're recording this video. And that's up from the bottom that we saw last week. So in the beginning of October, it spiked up to, I think it hit 166 or so in the very beginning of the month. And then it gradually declined until it hit a low of about $73. I think that was early last week. But it kind of hit support. It found support there and jumped up and has been bouncing between 80 and $90 for the last several days. So I think that's a good sign. It found support at 73 and it's trying to make a recovery.
Yeah, I mean, with any of these cryptos, you're going to have things bounce around pretty nuts. I mean, especially DESO. It's such an early stage crypto. You're going to see people get excited about little things and then kind of lose interest. So you're going to see the price jump up and down. I don't like if you're serious about this project and you're serious about where it's headed. I don't think the best way to gauge it is based on DESO price, at least not now. If we were talking a few years in the future, then maybe. But I think there's a couple things you want to look for. You want to look at the new projects that are coming about, new nodes popping up, new projects, new established projects integrating DESO. I think those are important. Funding for these projects. So I mean, Gem got funding. I know some other companies are looking for funding outside of the Octane fund. So let's see what happens with that. And then daily active users and new users. So I think that these two, I think we see a lot of new users coming on board from referrals, but the daily actives really need to increase. I think that's probably most important because you need users to attract other users. If people come onto a new platform and there's nobody here, it looks like a desert, they're not going to want to stick around. So that's important.
What if you're a cactus though? Then you might like the desert.
Yeah, but we're on boarding humans, not cactus or cacti.
That's a good point. Anyhow, I think that's a good place to leave off on day 213, and we'll talk to everybody tomorrow.